really pleased right now to be joined by the head coach of the Big Ten West champion, Purdue Boilermakers. Jeff Brohm joins the program right now. Coach, congratulations, man.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to it. We're excited. Our team is, and I'm sure our fans are. So a great opportunity this week to play a tremendous football team on Saturday night.
You guys have been building towards this. You know, you came to town, what was it, 6 years ago, and you've had some big wins in your tenure as the Purdue head coach, but this is the first time you get to, hang one of those trophies up as division champions and now play for a bigger one in a conference title. Can you take me into just like the overall growth and how proud you are of this program that you've gotten to this point?
Well, it is really rewarding. We came in here with the goal to help these young men achieve their goals and win some football games and bring some excitement back to the fan base and try to compete against the top team, especially in our conference. And I think every year we've been able to make some strides, and it's always going to be a challenge. There's really good football played in the Big Ten every year. There's some dominant teams year in and year out, but I think we've gradually gotten better. I think we can compete on a weekly basis and be in the ball game and have a chance to possibly win it if we do a lot of things right. I think our fan base appreciates a hardworking blue-collar team that's going to give it everything they have and take some chances and risk and find a way to win if we can. And it's just been an exciting run. So I think when you're coaching guys that have a chip on their shoulder, that are out to prove themselves and prove to people that they can play football at a high level, those guys are a lot of fun to coach. Yeah,
and you have a lot of them, by the way. Guys that – you've got some quality recruits and some walk-ons, and I mean, your mixture of guys that contribute on this team is actually quite astonishing when you just look at the makeup. For instance, you got a quarterback in Aiden O'Connell who walked in basically with you as a walk-on. And you and I have talked about, he was what, like 10th string, I mean, like he was at the bottom of that barrel, but just continued to keep working. You got a transfer wide receiver in Charlie Jones. You got a walk-on running back and Devin Mockabee. You got a really good player at tight end and Payne Durham. You kind of have it all, right? In terms of how these guys matriculated themselves, if that's a word, I think it is, to Purdue.
Well, it is kind of a melting pot of a lot of different backgrounds. And just like you said, a lot of our big time playmakers on our team right now started at the bottom. Even Payne Durham, one of our good tight ends, was a lacrosse player, played 1 year of football. Charlie Jones started at Buffalo, then walked on at Iowa, then still wanted more and wanted to showcase his receiving skills. So luckily we got him here. Aiden O'Connell, our running back, Devin Mockabee, still is a walk-on, came in as a walk-on, and he's been producing. And then you got some other guys that compete as well, but it's just a really good mix of guys. I think they understand that we got work to do every week. Even in the off season, we got to make corrections during the season. We might take a couple punches to the chin or in the gut and knock us over, but we got to get back up. And it's just a lot of fun. I think our coaches enjoy coaching and competing against top teams. Our fans love watching us play the very best. And without question, this week against Michigan, we will be really tested against, in my opinion, the best team in the country.
Yeah, and I'll ask you about Michigan in a moment, but another broad, kind of question about, in particular, the transfer portal. Coach, I actually see it evening out college football. And the evidence of that is a guy like Charlie, right? Like what you were able to do in the portal. Here's a guy that was, like you said, Buffalo, walked on at Iowa. Now he's here for you at Purdue. He might win the Triple Crown of receiving in the Big Ten. Right now he leads in catches. He leads in yards. He's tied with Marvin Harrison Jr. for touchdown catches. The impact of the transfer portal on a program like yours and what it's meant this season.
Well, it does change things every year. And you not only have to recruit young high school recruits, but yes, you got to adjust your roster every year. And there's always guys that, feel like they are not getting the proper opportunity somewhere and want a chance to go compete. And you've got to figure out a way to recruit those guys that still have the hunger, that still have the work ethic, that are willing to put it in and don't just think they've kind of been, screwed over by the other team. So it's kind of it's a challenge to make sure you get it right. We've definitely hit on some and we've missed on a few others, but they're all good kids. And you just got to, do your best and understand what your weaknesses are at the end of each year, evaluate it. It's different every year, and then go try to, improve the roster. But yes, it's going to constantly be changing every year. And you got to make sure that you're going to do your part to help your roster get better.
You know, you've said that Michigan line to me now twice this week. One on our production Zoom, you called Michigan the best team in the country, and here again you call Michigan the best team in the country. So, what is it going to take for you guys to beat Michigan and capture your first Big Ten title since 2000?
Well, you can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're very talented. They're well coached. There's not any weaknesses. A lot of strength up front seven on defense, the O-line on offense. Their linebackers play downhill, and they're big and physical. The DBs are really good. They don't give up big plays. They're very sound on an NFL-style defense. On offense, the running game is off the charts. Now they got a dynamic quarterback that makes a ton of plays. So that's tough to overcome. So what you're going to have to do is you're just going to come in, and sometimes against those type of teams, you have to figure out a way to beat them at their own game, which means, you know what, we're going to have to play as hard as we can and try to be as physical as we can. We're going to have to, make more plays, take a few more chances. We're going to have to figure out a way to get turnovers. We're going to have to figure out a way to somehow get them on their heels if it's possible. But really getting the game to the second half with a close ball game is going to be critical. The more we can gain confidence will help us. But, this is a challenge. But you know what? This is why these guys come to Purdue to get an opportunity to once-in-a-lifetime play in these games. And I know our guys are looking forward to it.
Well, you've got the history, knocking teams off. In 2018, you beat Ohio State. Last year, Iowa and Michigan State, all of those were top 5 wins. Beat Tennessee, and that was a good Tennessee team in the bowl game that you beat in Nashville. And you did it without David Bell, by the way, your best wide receiver. But in every one of those games, you look back, there was a wide receiver for you guys that went off. David Bell, both of those matchups last year. And then against Tennessee, it was Brock Thompson, who, by the way, hasn't even been available to you this year. Rondell Moore in that Ohio State game in 2018. How important is Charlie Jones in the passing game to really go out there and create another one of these upsets that you guys have become known for?
Well, it's going to be critical. I think, all of our guys play hard and they do a good job and they play a role, but it is important that your best players touch the ball and your best players get an opportunity to make plays. And that's just a smart thing of coaching that you got to figure out a way to do. And it's not always easy, but you got to make sure it happens. And we want to, do our part to get it to Charlie and make sure that we figure out ways to get a matchup where he has a chance. And our tight end has made some plays for us. Our running back's done a really good job and runs, fearless. And our quarterback, if you can give him a little bit of time and get guys open for him quick, he'll deliver the ball accurately. And our defense has played really well this year for the most part, other than a few times here and there. So I just think that, that's football, getting the ball in your playmakers' hands and cutting it loose, being aggressive, having some fun with it, and going down to really right down the street from us and playing in front of a great audience. So we're looking forward to that.
I was going to say, you guys are, this is kind of like a pseudo home game for the Boilermakers, and we'll see how that stadium pans out. I do got to say, you and I had a conversation last year. All of these championship games, I always kind of call around the conference to the coaches that played each of the teams and we had a great conversation. You were so helpful a year ago, and you and I both said it earlier this week. These conversations are a lot more fun, right, when you're actually playing in the game. So congratulations again, my friend.
Okay, I appreciate it. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
You got it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.